What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Alright, so this is another Midday Monologue Monday, and I have something on my mind that I want to talk about. Now, you know we do a video every day of the week, and every day of the week it's a different subject. We do live videos on Friday and Saturday nights, so there's always something here for you. And this is just a for fun channel. That's it. Not even any monetization going on here. I'm doing this all because I enjoy doing it. So why don't you show some support and throw us a subscription? That'd be great. Now, as far as today goes, this one concerns the love of tabletop gaming and Star Wars. And if you enjoy both of those things and you're looking to either build up a Star Wars board gaming collection or just add to what you already have, then this is the video you've been waiting for. So come on, join me down the table and I'll talk to you about some great games for building your Star Wars gaming collection. Star Wars! Come on, who the hell doesn't like Star Wars? Oh, I know one person, but he's kind of a freak. Really, if you like board gaming and you like Star Wars, then you're gonna be wanting to get some Star Wars, right, like that. You're gonna be wanting to get some Star Wars in your board gaming collection. I know you will. So why don't we take a look at some good games that you might be interested in to help build your Star Wars board gaming collection. Now, you may be looking for a sort of head-to-head game, right? A two-player game. Do you have any two-player games with Star Wars? Do you want a two-player game with Star Wars? Who knows? Maybe you and your spouse, maybe you and your sibling, or just you and your best buddy might want to just one day go head-to-head in a Star Wars game. So there's a couple that come to mind, and the first one is the Star Wars deck building card game. This is new 2023. It should be out at the time of the dropping of this film, if not film. All right, Siskel and Ebert. It should be out at the dropping of this episode. So the Star Wars, the deck building game, and in this, like any of the two-player games, also like Star Wars Rebellion, I'm about to mention also, one player is the Rebellion and the other player is the Empire. And that's it. The Empire is sending troops out against the Rebellion. The Rebellion's doing the same thing, and both of them are hoping to wipe out the other's secret base. Now, with the card game, it's just that. It's exactly that. It's a card-based game that you're playing, you're throwing things down. Now, the difference is with the Star Wars Rebellion, this is a larger footprint. This is a board game with miniatures. It represents the Star Wars space map of the system, and you secretly place your rebellion, and the Empire's trying to find you, or vice versa. So it's just a matter of difference in presentation. But both of those are really great head-to-head two-player games. Now, there are no solo games specifically written and designed only as a solo game that I was able to find for Star Wars. If I'm wrong on that, please put it in the comments because I would want to get that game, I think. There are games that you can option to play as one. Yes, but not games that are solely designed only as a one-player option. There are, however, at least one game I know of that is a one-player versus all for Star Wars. And that's Star Wars Imperial Assault. And in this game, one player is playing the Empire, controlling all of the Empire's forces, almost acting like an evil dungeon master, while the other players are running heroes. Heroes, much like in a D&D game, that will level up, gain experience, and become better, stronger characters, which is needed because they're going to be confronting more and more difficult scenes and opponents. So that is, if you're looking for a one versus all experience that will literally drag you into the Star Wars universe as far as thematics go, this is the game. You can play it. You can play this without without an Imperial player as well. If you have the app for this game, which is a free download, you can actually run this without anybody running the Empire. So all players, if they want to, can work together as a team, experiencing the fun of all being rebels together. Now, as you can imagine, there is a slew of competitive games. There's a good chance I may not even mention your favorite. And if so, put it in the comments so everyone can know, including me. I'm curious. I know curiosity killed the cat, but don't forget determination brought him back. So with the competitive games, there are quite a few. One of the ones that I've been enjoying a lot is Outer Rim. In fact, I got to get the expansion for that. In Outer Rim, it is a pick-up delivery style game. It is a bounty hunting game. It is an exploration space game, all in the Outer Rim, which is a really, really, really fun game. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Zia, Legend of a Drift System. It has that kind of basic background feel to it, I find. Now, if you like overlays, reskinnings, then Talisman came out with a Star Wars Talisman game where you are all fighting to get to the Emperor. And he's the option of Jedis and Sith. It doesn't matter, good guy or bad guy, obviously, of course. But if you're familiar with Talisman, it plays similarly to that. It is a Talisman game. So you're going from the outer to the middle to the inner circles around this world, or in this case, the system, having adventures, getting gear, finding things, surviving, and eventually, getting to the center, to the Emperor himself, to Palpatine. So if you like Talisman and you like Star Wars, you might want to check that out as a competitive game as well. Now, I want to mention two kind of in one fell swoop here, and that's Star Wars X-Wing and Star Wars Armada. Because at their core, they're very similar in what the experiences they're delivering to you in a sense. Armada, both of them take place in deep space, right? Armada is that of a war battle. You are fighting the other player or players ships to ships. And I don't mean X-Wings versus TIE fighters. That's the X-Wing game. I'll mention that in a moment. This is literally the huge, big armadas with hundreds or thousands of X-Wings, A-Wings, Y-Wings, or whatever wings. And, as I just alluded at, the X-Wing game is pretty much the same thing, but take out the big, huge armadas and just make it ship-to-ship combat. An X-Wing versus some TIE fighters or interceptors or something. It's a little bit less of a war game where Armada is, and more of a miniature skirmish game. Like maybe the Dungeons & Dragons miniature game was back in 3.5 days, only using X-Wings and Millennium Falcon and Slave One and all those individual ships. So depending on what your feeling is, and maybe it's for both, you might want to consider one of those for a competitive Star Wars game. Armada versus Armada, or personal ship versus personal ship. Aha! What are you going to do? Now, maybe you're looking for a more personal mano-a-mano style, not ship-a-ship. In that case, you'd probably be looking for Star Wars Legion, I would think. Star Wars Legion is the soldier versus soldier version, I guess you could say, of Star Wars X-Wing. It's not quite Armada size. It's much closer to the personal feeling that the X-Wing game gets you. With that one-on-one kind of feel. So yeah, maybe Star Wars Legion then is what you're looking for. But all of them are great competitive games. Now, for my own personal love, I do want to mention two fun retro games. Maybe not the greatest games you've ever played by today's game standards, but great retro games, great Star Wars history games. And the first one I'm going to mention is Star Wars Escape from Death Star. This may have been the very first Star Wars board game, but it definitely was my first as a kid, and it still holds up today. Like I said, though, I mean, it's not as deep or heavy. It doesn't have the feel necessarily of a modern game, but you can see some of the seeds of where modern games have gone in this game. I think I can, anyway. There's also a Hoth adventure game from the old days as well, which I think was the direct follow-up, game to the Death Star one. Now, one I didn't have 20 years ago or plus or whatever, but I did get and have had a lot of fun playing is is a Game of Life, A Jedi's Path. The Star Wars Game of Life game is really fun. I like the differences that they've made to make this feel not like a random reskin, but like something they put thought in. You do kind of feel a lot more like a Jedi than a student going to college. From the first, original Game of Life, it does give you that feeling. And you can go dark. Yeah, take the easy path, the dark side. This game works. It's a Jedi's path. What path are you on, light or dark? It does a really good job of capturing that feeling. If you're looking for Star Wars games, I think those are some fun games for your collection of multiple different styles and genres and rule sets and mechanisms, mechanics. I'm getting excited, aren't I? Yeah, I am. So I love Star Wars. All right, I hope some of those games you find to be good selections, good offerings. I hope you enjoy some of them. And anything that you really enjoy as a Star Wars game and I didn't mention, let us know. Put it down in the comment section. Go, 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 go! All right, thank you very much, everyone. I'm your buddy Big John and G for Two Gun Picture Presents Legendary Gaming, and I am out of here.